10 Ways The Vampire Diaries has the most satisfying finale. Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Film Sci. Number 10, The Catherine Fakeout. Catherine Pierce had been plaguing the town of Mystic Falls since 1863, and she never lost her viciousness. It would have been a disservice if the show ended without Catherine pulling her most infamous trick on her brothers. Though only for a minute, Catherine returns on screen to pretend to be Elena one final time. Number 9, The Callbacks. The Vampire Diaries performs a delicate balancing act by adding enough callbacks from the early seasons to make it a tearjerker. It wouldn't be Mystic Falls if the sheriff didn't have to perform a vampire cover-up by claiming there was a gas leak one last time. The phrase song Never Say Never first played in the pilot and is brought back with great emotional resonance. Even Caroline and Elena's old cheerleading classmate Tiki is referred to while Stefan goes to make his final heroic showdown. Number 8, Justice for the Donovans. The Donovan family was one of the most tragic. Matt suffered the abandonment of both his parents as well as the deaths of his sister and fiance. In this finale, the Donovans were given the respect that Mystic Falls never did. Not only does Matt remain standing for the entirety of the show, but he gets to see his sister again. In the first season, Vicky had been killed off too soon in an act that was thoughtless and tragic. It seemed like she would never get justice. Number 7, Catherine was the villain all along. The final showdown had to be against Catherine. She had tormented the Salvatores for almost 200 years, and there was no better way to end the series. Catherine's appearance brings a sense of closure. Not only are the brothers able to kill her once and for all, but it gives them the solace that they had never had before. Damon in the first season was tormented with Catherine consistently rebuffing him for his brother. Number 6, Elena and Stefan have their moment. While their fan favorite ship of their series was Damon and Elena, Stefan and Elena are given the respect that they deserve. Stefan does not deny that their relationship had meaning in attempts to rescue her. Before Stefan makes his final sacrifice, he shares his final words with Elena at the high school, the same place where they met and kicked off the entire show. Number 5, it keeps the romanticism. Even compared to the likes of Twilight and even True Blood, The Vampire Diaries utilizes the use of a love triangle. But even while entangled in a tired trope, the show demonstrates an understanding of it. The Vampire Diaries is about longevity of love. Tragedy mars the lives of these characters, but the show remains romantic as it is intended. Of course, there's a drama between Elena, Stefan, and Damon, but more of the other characters have eternal love in some way. Caroline doesn't get the happy ending she deserves, but she promises to love Stefan forever. Number 4, Damon is redeemed. One of the biggest questions of the show asks if Damon can be redeemed, and even more importantly, if he was worthy of redemption. He arrived initially to give Stefan an eternity of misery. He murdered, maimed, and compelled where he saw fit. Even when Damon wanted to change, it was all because of Elena. He never wanted to change on his terms. But in the final season when she isn't around, Damon does some of his best work. In the final moments, he decides to make a sacrifice even if it takes him away from Elena, something he had never been willing to do before. Number 3, Stefan is given happiness. Most of the fan favorite characters make it through the end of the series, but the main point of the show is how loss is part of life. It is a tragedy that Stefan can't enjoy the human life that he had been waiting for so long, but his sacrifice was worth it, and in this way, Stefan does find a sense of happiness and commitment. The most heart-wrenching moment is finally being able to see Lexi again. Afraid for his soul, Stefan was unsure if he would ever see her again, but when entering the afterlife, she is waiting. Number 2, Bonnie Bennett saves the world. If anyone deserved a happy ending, it was Bonnie Bennett. Bonnie is one of the most resilient characters of the show, and while being abandoned and used by her friends, but the finale allows Bonnie to return in full force. Refusing to let Catherine win, Bonnie puts everything she has into beating back the hellfire that threatens to engulf the town. Her magic returns as well as her family's line of witches to help her. Once again, Bonnie proves that Mystic Falls could have not survived without her. Number 1, it was always about two brothers. In the final relationship that the Vampire Diaries honors are Stefan and Damon, they should be the ones that close out the show. While Elena is important to their story, she is ultimately a footnote. Even in the afterlife, Elena and Damon separate, she goes off with her family and Damon goes to find Stefan. Literally going to hell and back for each other, the show would not have any satisfying ending without Damon and Stefan finding each other. Stefan was able to make up for turning Damon into a vampire, and they found the happiness that they had struggled to obtain for so long. The show ends perfectly as Stefan opens the door and Damon greets him, "Hello, brother." This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the next 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.